Hey everyone, welcome back to another makeup session. I'm Seenie Beanie, and I recently asked everyone to pick a color, and everyone decided on gold. So today's video, I'm going to show you how to get this gold eye look, and I'm going to share a spooky ghost experience I've had. If you want to continue to hear more and do some makeup, just keep watching. So this spooky story takes place in the Northeast. My mom was house hunting, and we found this red house on a small mountain right near a college, actually, and a high school. And it was very cute, very red. It looked very inviting. So this cute house basically had 2 stories. It had a main level and a basement, except for the basement wasn't really basementy. Now this basement was a finished basement, and it had 2 rooms, a long hallway, and it had the garage attached to it. So there was a room down the stairs, and it was directly in front of the staircase. And then there was a room to the right, and these were just normal bedrooms. And then the garage would be to the left, and it had the washer and dryer in it. It was a pretty big garage, actually, and the rooms are kind of small. I mean, not that small, but kind of small. So the staircase was actually coming from the front door, and it was more like a partial staircase, since the front door had like the landing to the staircase, and then it had the other staircase, the other half of the staircase went up onto the main floor, and it was like all open, like you could see down the staircase to the front door and everything. So starting off, this house was actually really nice and very comfortable, and there wasn't anything wrong with it at first. So we thought everything was all great, you know, we're just living our nice life in a nice house, and it's really cute. But we didn't know that things would quickly change the longer we stayed in this house. And that's the scary part. So let's jump forward to the spooky parts. So I was sleeping in my room with the boyfriend I had at the time, and I woke up to hearing whispers, and it sounded like in my ear, and I was like, what the heck? And I jumped out of my bed, freaking out. Like, what the heck, Ghosty? Like, who does that while you're sleeping? Anyways, that scared the life out of me, and I was like, not okay. I jumped out of bed, and I was like, wake up, like, hurry up and wake up. This is freaking me out. So I was like backed into a corner. I seen an outline of a person's face, and it was like backing into my closet. Like, what the heck? Like, come on, Ghosty, really? I'm trying to sleep. What's your deal? So that was my first ghost encounter, and you know, people don't believe you when you tell them a ghost was in my room and I seen this and heard this crazy stuff. Like, no one's gonna believe that. I told my mom. She didn't believe me. My boyfriend at the time didn't believe me either. So what are you gonna do? So that was the end of night 1, and it was kind of horrifying to see stuff like that. Like, you wouldn't experience something like that on a normal daily basis, and to expect to see something like that in the middle of the night while you're sleeping and hearing like a voice in your ear that didn't make any sense. That's just shocking. So the next day came, and I decided I need to relax and like get this off my mind. So I decided to take a bath, relax in there, and it was like a jet tub, so like put those jets on and just get a massage and relax in a hot bath is like so amazing. But it was weird because it felt extremely uneasy in there, and it just felt like somebody was watching me the entire time. So I hurried up and I got out of that bath because that is weird, especially to feel like somebody's staring at you the whole time. Like, why do you gotta watch me, ghost? I'm taking a bath. What's your problem? It's safe to say nothing else happened that day. Thank God. Like, I don't think I could handle it at that point. Moving on to the next day, I decided I wanted to do laundry, so I went down to like the ground floor, of course the basement-y like area, and that's already sketchy itself, but it wasn't really like a normal basement, so it wasn't that bad. So I start heading towards the staircase to go down into that basement area, and I freeze in my tracks. You may be asking, why did you freeze in your tracks? Well, let me tell you. As I'm walking down this staircase, of course, I told you there is a room directly in front of you walking down the staircase, and it was dark. There was like no lights at all. So I'm walking down the staircase. This door is open, and it just looks like there's a bunch of boxes that we have down there flying around. Just flying around. Now, this does not make any sense since, like, nobody's down there. It's kind of getting dark, you know. It's not fully dark. People are awake, but they're upstairs. They're not downstairs. So, of course, I'm already freaked out. And I hurry up and turn the light on. And thank God it was above the staircase at the top floor, because I would never have gone down there at all with things flying around in pitch black. Like, I don't even have a flashlight. Like, no. Just no. I already freaked out by the dark. Like, no thank you. So, as soon as I turned the light on, it stopped. Like, nothing else happened. And that was it. I was like, this is so strange. Like, nothing was even moved either. That's the weirdest part. Like, you would at least expect to see something moved. And I failed to mention, I'm only like 17 at the time. Like, I'm not that old. So, of course, I did not go down there by myself. I made my boyfriend at the time go with me, because I was not about to go down there alone. Like, no. No thank you, Ghosty. I'm good. You can have that room. I'm good. So I went ahead and put all my stuff in the washer to get it all washed, all clean. And then when it was done, I would put it in the dryer. And nothing else happened that day. And I was like, thank God, because I don't think I could handle that anymore. Like, it's already getting bad. Like, what the heck is going on? Moving on to the next day, and just as it's getting dark, more stuff happens. And we're experiencing a power outage now, and it is pitch black in this haunted house. How could anything get any worse? Like, oh my gosh. Really? Why? Why me? Why? So we went ahead and got some candles out. You know, we're living our Victorian era type of life with all these little candles we have. And so, you know, I pick one up, and of course we light it and everything. And I wanted to go to my room because I like needed something from my room. And as soon as I walk down the hallway, that candle is pointing directly to the right. Like, this doesn't make sense, for one, because I'm walking and the wind would make the direction point towards me, not towards the right, directly towards the right. I mean, it was like directly to the right, like this. Like, I have never seen that ever. For one, that's like insane to see something like that, because there's like no wind whatsoever. This is like a hallway. I mean, the power's out. There couldn't even be air on, so it's like, that's not normal. I don't think that's supposed to happen. So I was even more freaked out, especially because I don't really like the dark, and that's just a no-go for me. No thanks. No thanks, Ghosty. I'm about ready to give you the house because I'm done. Now on that same day, like nothing else really happened and it was like all fine and okay. But still, that was like crazy and freaking weird. Like, why is this candle doing this for one? Like, I don't get it. It made no sense to me. Like, it didn't make logical sense either. So, I mean, who's gonna believe that? That's just crazy. So now we're moving on to the next day, and it gets more weird. Like, really weird. So we started to see full-blown shadows. And this is already really creepy. Like, why are there shadows randomly running around? Like, what is this? I have never seen that kind of thing in my life before. Like, that is just insane. Now, my mom started to actually believe me because she was seeing this too. It wasn't just me. She then proceeded to tell us to get in the car, like right now. Because she was freaked out. She was panicked. I mean, I would be too. I mean, I was. But she didn't believe me the whole time, so there's that. So, of course, like, I hurried to the car, because I was already freaked out from day one, really. From day one, it started anyways. It took her all this time just to believe me. Like, that's insane. Anyways, she grabbed what she could, and she hurried up too. Like, she was already freaked out by all these shadows that she's seen darting down the stairs, darting around corners and stuff. Like, I mean, I get it. That is weird. But as she's grabbing everything, the cupboards are like slamming open, and she freaks out even more. Like, I would too, because that is really, really strange. And like, there ain't nobody in there. There ain't nothing attached to these cupboards. This isn't like a video online. This is real. By then, she says, okay, I don't care about this stuff no more. The ghosts can keep it. They can have it. They can live with it. I'm done. But as she's running to the door, trying to leave, she falls to her knees. Like, this is already strange. Like, what is happening now? Now, my boyfriend at the time was with her, so she wasn't alone. Thank God. But then she got, like, a vision of this place, and she seen a man and a truck, and she told me about this. And that is just already even more weird. Let me tell you why. So I didn't tell her this. I kind of just kept this to myself, and it was the same thing. I seen a guy, a truck, a woman, and her daughter, I think. Or a little girl, at least. I'm not sure if it was her daughter. We're just assuming at this point, because I really don't know. Like, I don't even know what's happening in this house. So, it's all sketchy. So, of course, we definitely ended up leaving, and we never looked back at this house at all. And we contacted the owners to let them know this place is haunted. Like, this ain't okay. So these owners, of course, they don't believe it. Like, they're not going to believe it. I mean, who would believe all of this? Who would believe the cupboard's open, a candle down the hallway was, like, pointing to the right, and, like, the power was out? Like, that's already strange. And who would also believe that things are getting thrown around, like, downstairs? I mean, I don't think I would believe it either until I, like, seen it. But I don't think they really cared, to be honest. Because they were really strange about it. Like, maybe they knew about it and just didn't tell us. Because they denied it. Like, fully denied this. So they definitely complained that we were leaving. But we were adamant on never coming back here and definitely not living here. So we had to break our lease. I mean, would you stay in a house that was very weird and haunted and uneasy every single day? Let me know in the comments what you would do if you were in this situation. Would you stay here or would you leave? Because I would never go back to something like that. I would never live in a house I felt uncomfortable. It's supposed to be your safe space. To this day, I still have no clue what actually happened in that house. I don't know if something happened to the previous owners or the current owner's family or what happened. Maybe something happened in front of the house. All we can do is assume at this point. I never really did full research on this place, so I really don't know. My mom didn't either. Before we bought it, we didn't look up what may have happened in this house. So it's still a mystery. Like, I don't know if anything even happened in that house, because there is a graveyard that is down the mountain not too far from this house. And I'm wondering if it's related somehow. Like, maybe it is, or maybe it isn't. We should, like, name this ghost, because I feel like maybe he just doesn't have a name and he's, like, very sad about it. Maybe that's what it is. And he wanted us to name him. We'll just name him Steve. Does that work? Maybe Jeff? Jeff the ghost. I don't know. He didn't really look like a Jeff. He had, like, brown hair. It was like a shortcut. I don't know. It's more like he was in the 90s kind of era. That's what he looked like. Now I hope this ghost did not follow me. Now the only reason why I say I hope he didn't follow me is because years later I had my son and I was like 19, and when he turned 2, so I was like, what was it, 21, he kept telling me there was a man behind me when I gave him a bath, and that's sketchy. Like, what? So we all heard the stories that little kids see ghosts, and that's freaky enough. But to say there was a man standing behind me when I was giving him a bath makes me think somehow that ghost followed me home. To my new home, and that's scary. Well, that's all for this makeup tutorial. I hope you enjoyed that spooky story. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know every time I upload. Also, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media. It'll be linked in the description box below. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!